if you call a standard function without any special syntax, JavaScript falls back to the default binding, which is window object in the browser and global object in the Node.js environment, which I'm using here right now. So this here refers to the global object. We get the global object. Now here, this dog object has a method called bark, and inside this, we are logging this dot name is barking. Now this here will refer to this object, this dog object. Now this dog object has a property called name. So when we run this, we get Spacey is barking. JavaScript provides 3 built-in methods on every function that allow you to explicitly dictate what this should be: call, apply, and bind. Now let's take a look at this code. We have 2 objects, both have their name property and their display function. The display function on each of them accepts an argument and prints this .name with an argument, the argument. Now this here in both the object would refer to their respective objects, right? So when we run this, we get Milo1 with argument Milo1, Milo2 with argument Milo2. Let's take a look at how call works. We use call here like this, and we pass in an object as the first argument. We will pass Milo1 as the first argument. What happens now? Milo2 will call its function display. Now this here now refers to this object, because we use call and pass in Milo1 as the first argument here, this object here. So this here will now be bound to this object. So we now run this. We get the first output, Milo1 with Milo1 as an argument, and then we get Milo1, this dot name now refers to this name with argument Milo2. Now apply works the same way as call. The only difference is we pass in the arguments inside an array. This will work in the same manner. Milo1 with argument Milo2. Bind is also similar, but when we use bind here, and we do not use array in bind again, this bind will return the function and not execute it. We would run the obj here. We get the same output. When you define a constructor function and use the new keyword, JavaScript does a few things under the hood. Specifically, it creates a brand new empty object and binds this to that new object for the duration of the function call. Here, when we use the new keyword, JavaScript will create an empty object and store all your properties, and it will return, and that object will be stored inside this variable mydog. This is how we can access mydog.name. When we run this, we get Spacey. Here we have 2 objects, and both of them have a function called display, and they are displaying their respective name property. Now what happens if we use an arrow function in one of them? Now this here will refer to the global object instead of referring to this object. Now when we run this, we get Milo1 from this and undefined from this. Not even call, apply, and bind would work here.